Hi there, I'm Beth from the West Dallas Public Library, and welcome to our summer book club. Now, during the spring, we were doing Where Should I Go on Vacation, where every week we did a different place in the Who Was or really Where Is series. Now, for summer, we're going to expand that. We're going to stay in the series, the Who Was or Who HQ series, the books with the big heads on the front, but we're going to do where, we're going to do who, we're going to do what, basically any book from that series. Now today is the first day of summer reading, so you can now sign up for summer reading, either online. You can head to our website to get to the right link. It's westdallaslibrary.org, or you can stop at the library, arrange to have a log picked up with our curbside service. We might have them sitting out right now. You can call us up and figure out how to get a paper log if that's how you'd prefer to track your reading. But you can now start tracking for summer reading and earning raffle prizes for big prizes. But today, our first book in the summer book club is What Was Pompeii? I don't know if you can see. So this is by Jim O'Connor. Do you know what Pompeii was already? Okay, so this is episode 1 of What Was Pompeii? On the morning of August 24th, 79 AD, the people in the town of Pompeii went about their normal routines. It seemed like any other day. Shopkeepers opened their stores. In the center of town, people gathered in the forum to discuss politics and shop at the outdoor markets. Others prayed in one of the many temples to the Roman gods and goddesses. In other parts of the city, people went to the public baths and played sports. Just outside Pompeii, farmers tended their fields. They grew olives and grapes and tended flocks of sheep. The land around Pompeii was rich and fertile. A little farther away, 5 miles from town, stood Vesuvius. Vesuvius looked like a mountain, but it wasn't a mountain. It was a volcano. No one in Pompeii worried about Vesuvius. It hadn't erupted in 700 years. However, in the past weeks, there had been small earthquakes. People could feel the ground shaking under their feet. Dun, dun, dun. Still, no one in Pompeii expected anything terrible to happen. No one guessed that the earthquakes were a warning sign. Vesuvius was about to erupt, and when it did erupt, early in the afternoon of August 24th, it destroyed the entire town of Pompeii. By the end of the following day, Pompeii had disappeared under 60 feet, 60 feet of volcanic ash. It was as if the town had never existed. Okay, so I'll also stop and read these little blurbs. This one is about the Roman Empire. Pompeii was a thriving harbor city located at the mouth of the Sarno River on the Bay of Naples. It was part of the Roman Empire. By the end of the 1st century AD, the vast Roman Empire stretched from Great Britain through France, Germany, Italy, Greece, east across the Mediterranean Sea into what are now the countries of Iraq, Israel, and Egypt, and down into North Africa. Rome was the center of the empire and the most important city. Pompeii was 150 miles south of Rome. A network of paved roads connected many outlying areas to Rome. Rome boats crisscrossed the Mediterranean Sea carrying spices, cloth, wine, olive oil, and other goods to all parts of the empire. The powerful Roman army and navy kept order for the emperor, who ruled with absolute power. Okay, so chapter 1 now. Eyewitness. On that terrible day in 79 AD, a young man watched Vesuvius erupting. He was called Pliny the Younger. His uncle was known as Pliny the Elder. Pliny was a safe distance away in a town just across the Bay of Naples, across the Bay of Naples from Pompeii. In a couple letters written many years later, he described everything he saw. What Pliny wrote is the only eyewitness account of the destruction of Pompeii. He wrote, "In the early afternoon, my mother drew attention to a cloud of unusual appearance and size. It was not clear, at that distance, from which mountain the cloud was rising. It was afterward known to be Vesuvius. Its general appearance can be expressed as being like an umbrella pine, for it rose a great height on sort of a trunk and then split off into branches. It spread out and gradually dispersed in places. It looked white, elsewhere blotched and dirty." Pliny's description is an accurate one. However, he could only see what was happening from afar. He had no way of knowing what effect the eruption had had on all the people living in Pompeii. To them, it must have seemed as if they were witnessing the end of the world. When Vesuvius erupted, it shot a column of dark ash and sharp, lightweight, powdery rock called pumice. The column rose about 15,000 feet in the air. That's about 3 miles high. The winds blew the ash and rock toward Pompeii, turning the sky pitch black. Anyone caught at home had no chance of surviving. They were buried by the falling ash and rocks. Many of those who managed to get past the city gates didn't survive either. They too were caught in the hot downpour and suffocated. Before the eruption, there had been almost 20,000 people living in Pompeii. About 2,000 were killed inside the city. But there's simply no way to know how many others died trying to escape. For 18 hours, the ash and rock kept falling layer upon layer. It piled up until 60 feet covered the city. Again, 60 feet, 60. That's the height of a 5-story building. Soon, there was no trace of Pompeii. Chapter 2. What is a volcano? From far away, a volcano looks a lot like an ordinary mountain. When a volcano is erupting, however, red-hot liquid rock called lava spews from the top. Ash and poison gases are released. The lava flows downward, destroying everything in its path. At Vesuvius in 79 AD, the lava hardened in the air into sharp rocks that rained down on the people of Pompeii. If you climbed up Vesuvius, right away you would see that, as with many volcanoes, there is a big hole at the top. But what made the hole? The crust is the name of the Earth's top layer, and it is made of many huge pieces called plates. The plates move and float on top of very hot melted rock. When this melted rock finds cracks between the plates, it bubbles up through a tube and bursts out of the ground, punching out a hole. This kind of hole is called a crater. Once the liquid rock spurts out of the crater, it is called lava. The lava cools and hardens, creating a hill around the crater. With each eruption of lava at Vesuvius, the hill of the volcano grew bigger and taller. They kind of did a picture here. You can see. Hope you could see that. There are 3 kinds of volcanoes. Active volcanoes erupt regularly. Kilauea, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, in Hawaii has been erupting for the last 30 years. Mauna Loa, also in Hawaii, is the largest volcano, taller even than Mount Everest. There are about 1,500 potentially active volcanoes on the Earth. Some are underwater in oceans. Dormant volcanoes are ones that have not erupted in the last 10,000 years. Dormant means sleeping. However, scientists can still detect some activity inside them, which means they might erupt again at some point. Yellowstone in Wyoming is a dormant volcano. Extinct volcanoes are no longer active, and scientists think it is very unlikely that they will ever erupt again. Edinburgh Castle in Scotland sits upon the top of an extinct volcano. The eruption of Vesuvius was very destructive, killing at least 2,000 people. But other eruptions have been much more deadly. In 1883, Krakatau in Indonesia erupted, killing 40,000 people. The last time that Vesuvius erupted was 1944. Pompeii was unharmed. Today, vineyards flourish in the rich volcanic soil on the slopes of Vesuvius. Okay, I'm going to do another little blurb here. The world's most active volcanoes. Etna in Sicily has been continuously erupting for 3,500 years. So that would be in Italy. It is the largest volcano in Europe. Stromboli, a volcano on the island off the coast of Italy, has been continuously erupting for 2,000 years. That makes it the second most active volcano. Stromboli started as an undersea volcano, and after many eruptions, it became an island. Mount Yazur on Vanuatu Island in the South Pacific ranks as the third most active volcano. It has been continuously erupting for 800 years. The next most active are Santa Maria in Guatemala, Central America, and Piton de la Fuez, which is on Reunion Island in the West Indian Ocean. Mount St. Helens in the state of Washington, so that's in the United States, is the second most active U.S. volcano after Kilauea in Hawaii. Its 1980 eruption buried 200 square miles of forest and killed 57 people. Okay, so that is where we'll stop today for our first episode. So every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock, I will post a new episode of each book. So we'll get through one book every week. So you can watch us every day, or if you miss a day, you can always go back and watch the episodes over and over. So again, this has been episode 1 of What Was Pompeii. And make sure you sign up for the summer reading program. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.